When I first got home from the hospital, I had never even heard of long COVID, but I was just about to get an education. Stick around, we'll talk about it. Hey, everybody, this is Brian. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing fantastic. So, long COVID, like I said, I'd never even heard of long COVID. I thought a 6 month hospital stay, that was long COVID to me. But, as I was getting out, I was doing everything I was supposed to do. I was taking all the tests, following up with all my therapists and my doctors, and every single one was telling me, "You're doing great. Keep with your medicine. It'll get better. It'll get better. Your nerves will regenerate. You'll be fine." All the tests were coming back. Your lungs look good, and yet I couldn't breathe. Um, Blood pressure is okay. All your test, your nerve conduction test, everything looks great. But here's the problem: I still felt like crap, and nobody had any answers. So I decided I'm going to get my own damn answers. So like any good internet geek would do, I started like scouring the net and watching YouTube videos, anything I could find about COVID. And this is really when I first started hearing the term long COVID. So it was really kind of crazy what I was hearing. At first, there was nothing really. I mean, it was speculation on some people's part. Nothing in this country was going on as far as long COVID. Some over in Europe, there were some things coming out that maybe it was an overabundance of histamine. Uh, so, just different things, different clinics were kind of popping up, but, nobody could explain what was going on. So that's when I just got aggravated and I'm like, the, the doctors aren't doing me any good anymore. The medicine's not doing me any good anymore. So that's what I decided. I'm taking matters into my own hands. Now, don't take this as medical advice because I'm not a doctor. And if you're being cared for by a physician, you should probably, do what he tells you. But this is my experience. And I'm just telling you what I did, how I, made myself better, made myself feel better. And what I say might not work for you. So, just take it with a grain of salt. This is what I did, and it worked for me. Okay. So I started weaning myself off all the meds. They had me on a boatload of anxiety medicine in the hospital. That was not helping me in the least bit. It's making me more emotional. So, boom, that was the first thing that had to go. That stuff had to go. So I'm weaning myself off of that. And then I had some heart medications, for AFib and some different things. But, you know, and I was taking Brio for my breathing, but it didn't seem like it was doing me any good. And everybody kept telling me it'll come back, but it wasn't coming back. And the medicine wasn't making it any better. So I'm like, okay, boom, I'm wiping the slate clean. I'm going to start from scratch. I'm not going to the doctor anymore. And I'm going to just research on my own and see if I could figure it out. And like I said, when I first started, I don't even think there was a term long COVID at first. And then I started hearing it. But nothing in this country. But and even some of the stuff I found was like it was like voodoo almost. It's like do this, do that. It was kind of crazy. But so I started a journal. Like I said, I wiped my slate clean and I started trying some of these things that I was hearing. First things first, I started working on my strength. That was the main thing. When I first started, I couldn't even do a push up from my knees, one push up from my knees. So I set a goal right away, like, okay, I want to build that upper body strength. So I'm going to start doing a push up. And like I said, I could only do it from my knees, one. So I did one. So my goal was to get to 10 push ups, good push ups from my knees, 10. Once I got to 10, I'm like, all right, now I'm going to do a real push up starting at one and work my way up. And slowly but surely, I got stronger. I had already been walking quite a bit. That was really helping me. Like I say, I threw away the walker, and I was determined that I was going to do it without that walker. And, it was hard at first. If I could only go a few steps and then a few more steps, and each day I got better, and each day doing the push ups, I got stronger. So then I started lifting weights. Medicine wise, kicked myself out the medicine, and I actually started feeling better. And then I started incorporating some of the supplements that I was reading about and hearing about. And again, I kept a journal. This one did this. I put this one in. It didn't do anything good, so I kicked it out. But I gave each one at least 30 days or more to see if it made any difference in how I felt. And some actually did. I think some of the B vitamins I took, and I will probably make a separate. I'm going to make a separate video someday. I promise. I keep saying I'm going to. Or the supplements I took back then, the ones that actually did some good, and the ones that are doing good now. But as of today, I'll just say I took a combination of some B vitamins that I saw online that was working to help regenerate nerves, and it actually started doing a really good job. The feeling was coming back. I had some really bad. I was lost of feeling in my legs, different things, and the pins and needles. And after a while, it really started coming back. But mind you, the nerve regeneration is slow, but it started coming back. So boom, I wrote that down in my journal. I kept that, and that this is something that was working. I knew my lungs were damaged from the COVID and from the 4 times that I had pneumonia when I was in the hospital. So I didn't feel like there was a whole lot I could do about that, but I knew there was other systems of my body that I could do something about, like circulatory, different things. So I started looking into cleaning out my arteries and my veins. What could I do to get those back in shape, to get that circulation back? Things that will heal your heart, and start incorporating those and keeping track of it. And I did notice a huge difference in that. I didn't have any blockages before, but I wanted to make sure that I never had any blockages in the future. So that was one thing I really concentrated on, and it seemed like it really helped me to bring my strength back up. The thing that is really disappointing is, and the reason I really started working on myself and kind of kicked the therapist and the doctors and everybody to the curb, was they really didn't have any answers. And I'm thinking, why am I wasting my money on these people? And again, I don't want to keep bashing the medical establishment. They did some good things for me when I was in the hospital. And I mean, they saved my life. But, when you start talking about long COVID, they look at you like you have two heads. Like, what? No, the tests all say you're fine. It's all in your head. And, and the people that have this know that it's not in your head. It is debilitating, and it's frustrating. And just have a medical professional tell you that you're it's in your head is just, ooh, you know it's just frustrating when you can't get answers. So I don't want to make this a long video. I'm trying to keep them a little bit shorter. I know people get bored listening to it, but the moral of this story is, you know you can be your own advocate. Help yourself. you know be aware of how you feel and how the medicines are making you feel. If the medicine you're taking is making you feel worse than you did, there's something wrong with that. You shouldn't feel worse when you're taking medicine that's supposed to be healing you, you know? So be your own advocate. Look into things, ask questions. That's the main thing. Everybody just blindly believes what the big pharmaceutical companies and the doctors and stuff. I'll tell you, no, don't be blind to that. They're trying to sell you products just like the supplement companies that they bash all the time, and the vitamins and all that. They're trying to sell you a product. They're not interested in healing you. They're interested in you buying their medicines to treat your symptoms. You know, there's got to be a reason you feel that way. So the first thing, instead of just treating the symptoms, look for a reason why you feel like that, and then try to dig into that and see if you can't remedy that and get rid of that. Once you get rid of what's causing the symptoms, you won't have them anymore. And that's what I've been finding as I'm trying to heal myself and get over this long COVID crapola. 2 years down the road, and I am feeling better, and I feel better today than I have in a long time. So, I mean, it works. Just you got to be your own doctor. Ask questions. You can still work with your doctor, but ask questions. Why are you doing this, doc? Why do I need this test? Why is this, what's the purpose of this medicine that I'm taking? Ask questions and make them answer it to your satisfaction. That's what they're there for. You're paying them thousands of dollars. Get answers. Find your own answers. Keep a journal like I do, and you'll see some changes. Okay. Again, I don't want to make this a long video, so thank you for listening to me for a few minutes. If you would be so kind, please like this video, subscribe to the channel. I have a lot more to say about this subject. So, until next time, everybody, have a great day. Thanks.